Our next story is about Zapad 2025. On the surface, it is just another war game. Russia and Belarus are staging their latest round of military drills. But the timing could not have been worse. Russian drones had just crossed NATO airspace. Tensions along the alliance's eastern flank were already high. And then came Poland's decision. Poland decided to seal its border with Belarus. It's supposed to be a precautionary measure. But it's hurting a country that is not even part of this region. I'm talking about China. So how is this border closure in Europe impacting China? And why does China want Poland to open its borders ASAP? Our next report tells you.
Last week, Belarus opened its training grounds to an unusual mix of participants. Russian troops, foreign journalists, even a handful of U.S. military attaches. The occasion was Zapad 2025, the latest in a long-running series of joint Russia-Belarus military drills. On the ground, it looked like a standard exercise. Armored vehicles rumbling through river crossings, artillery crews running through loading drills, and helicopters cutting across the treetops. Moscow and Minsk described the drills as defensive, a rehearsal for how they would respond if attacked. But the timing made neighbors nervous. Just days earlier, Russian drones had crossed into Polish and Romanian airspace during strikes on Ukraine. For NATO countries already on edge, this felt less like routine training and more like intimidation. So, as Zapad 2025 got underway, Poland moved to close its border crossings with Belarus. The decision covered 3 freight rail links, a road crossing for cars, and another for trucks, that effectively froze one of the busiest land corridors between the European Union and its eastern neighbors. Warsaw said the closures would remain until further notice. The move carried consequences far beyond Eastern Europe. Belarus has long been a transit hub for freight moving between China and the EU. Nearly 90% of rail cargo traveling between China and Europe crosses through Poland. By 2024, the value of goods shipped on these trains had risen to more than $25 billion. Blocking the border meant freight trains from China were halted on the Belarusian side. Containers sat waiting at depots, unable to cross. Polish officials admitted the disruption would cause losses but argued that security came first. For Beijing, the timing was particularly difficult. The China-Europe Railway Express is the flagship project linking Chinese factories to European consumers. It is faster than shipping by sea and cheaper than sending goods by air. China sees Poland as a crucial partner in this system. So, when Warsaw closed its border, Beijing made its displeasure clear. Chinese diplomats argue that the trains benefit both sides. Europe receives fast, affordable goods, while Chinese exporters gain access to one of the world's largest markets. Polish leaders see it differently. They argue that borders are part of national defense. The Polish foreign minister Radosław Sikorski met his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi this week in Warsaw. Officially, the two sides spoke of friendship and shared interests. Unofficially, Poland wants Beijing to use its influence to rein Moscow in. Nothing concrete has come out of the talks yet. If the border remains closed only for a short period, businesses can absorb the losses. Containers can be rerouted via slower sea and air routes. But if the closure drags on, costs will rise sharply. In the end, it's a reminder that maps still shape politics as much as missiles do. A line on paper between Poland and Belarus can halt billions in trade, sour relations with Beijing, and raise the stakes with Moscow. For Poland, that border is a shield. For China, it's a bottleneck. And for Russia, it's a pressure point to be tested. In geopolitics, geography isn't just destiny, it's leverage.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karjo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
4 兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, Click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.